Welcome to PR Powerhouse, helping female entrepreneurs to get in the press and to gain PR. I'm Jo Swan, and I'll be sharing how to harness the power of the media to boost your credibility and business visibility, no matter what stage in business you're at. Because I'm on a mission to show you that PR is not just for the big boys. In this show, you'll learn how to reach out to journalists and own your place in the press, because you are ready to become a PR powerhouse. Hello, and welcome to episode 7, where today we are talking about what media should I target? So we are in our run of our first few episodes where we are really getting under the skin of what PR actually is. We're starting at the very beginning and we are looking at some of the basics of how you can set yourself up for PR success. So whether it is that you are looking to gain more credibility, whether you are looking to gain more trust from your audience, whether you are looking to up your ante yourself and feel like you're up leveling, whatever stage you are at in your entrepreneurial journey, PR can play a massive, massive part. So the first episodes that we have been taking you through have been very much setting you up for success if you are new to PR. And one of the questions that we get asked so much is, well, where do I start? What media should I even be targeting? When I'm trying to get myself in the press as an entrepreneur, as a female entrepreneur, what are my opportunities? So that's what we're going to talk about today. And our approach with where you should start is very much a kind of a build it approach. So we believe very much in a portfolio building approach of getting yourself in the media. We are not massive fans of you going all out trying to get yourself in your absolute dream publication from day one. Because what can happen with that is if it doesn't happen, you feel rejected and you feel quite disheartened and you feel like you've done it all wrong and you feel like you've made some mistakes. And actually that is really probably not the case, apart from the fact that you've just tried to run before you can walk. Because the media need to feel like you're ready for those big opportunities. They need to feel like you're at a point where that is the right place for you to be featured. And for them to feel that and believe that and trust that, then you have to have proven that actually you've got a little bit of gravitas and that you have kind of been up the ladder. You've worked your way up the ladder to get to their publication. You have been writing regularly on a subject that is close to your heart, that you have become recognized as an expert in a certain field, and that gives them then the confidence to actually use you in their publication. So targeting the big publications from scratch can be a risky move for both parties. So let's talk about how you can climb that ladder and how you can build up your PR portfolio with ease. So for us, a really sensible place to invite you to start is with your own media, with your local media. And often people dismiss this. Often people feel like it's not worthy to be in the local media, that actually it's very insignificant to be in the local media, that their audience even isn't reading their local media. And so often local media can be something that is dismissed, something that is not even on the list of objectives, that's not on their radar. But this is a massive, massive mistake. And there's a couple of reasons why that is the case. So any PR is good PR. You've heard that, right? And that's not strictly true. And I don't actually 100% believe that. But I do believe positive PR in any publication is good PR. So why not start somewhere that's slightly easier to get coverage? Why not start somewhere who is likely to want to support you? And if you are achieving great things as an entrepreneur and you have come from perhaps a background that makes that success potentially even more empowering, motivating, inspiring, then that story should be shared with that local media because they will want to get behind you. They will want to share your success story and they will want to celebrate you as one of their own. So the local media love kind of owning entrepreneurs who come from their region, because it's a sure sign of, oh, well, we breed fabulous people in this region. And it's a pride thing. So the local media like to get behind you. So sometimes it can be an easier win to share your launch story and your story about why you've started up your business, or to share the launch of a book or a podcast, or to share if you've won an award, or to share some news about your business, it can make sense to start local first. The other great thing about being in local press is that actually local press is a feeder for national press. So sometimes being in local press can be your fast track route to getting yourself in national press. So if your story is good enough, then it can get picked up automatically by some national media. And this has happened quite a few times to our clients. So particularly if you can get yourself in a regional publication, then the nationals scour and source stories from those regional publications, because actually they want to be seen as inclusive and they don't want to be seen as just covering news from London, for example, in the UK. The national media is quite London-centric. However, they are briefed to actually cover a much wider geographical region than just London. So often they source stories from the regional newspapers that they then take and then they use in their national publications. So absolutely do not discount local media, because it could mean that you find yourself in the national media without doing any extra work. Bonus! Okay, so the next route to go down in terms of kind of relative ease of gaining coverage, I would say is online. And online is an absolutely massive pool of opportunities. And quite often there's opportunities that sit there that you're not even aware of. Now, in the last episode, we talked about pitching to journalists, and we talked about actually how there can be a bit of a fear there, and how that you can feel sometimes a little bit out of your depth, or a little bit nervous, or a little bit uneasy at trying to actually communicate one-to-one with a journalist. And that's completely understandable. It can be a really nerve-wracking thing doing that for the first time. Now, if you are trying to get online coverage, quite often you don't have to speak to a journalist. So certainly it would be done through email or social. You wouldn't be particularly picking up the phone to speak to these journalists. But actually, increasingly, there's becoming opportunities for you to submit content to online publications without even speaking to anybody or communicating with a human. So this can be a great way to get off the ground for people who are that little bit nervous about doing that direct pitching, because there are a number of sites now which are basically online blog sites that you can become a contributor for. So things like Thrive Global, which is a fabulous site that was set up by Ariana Huffington from Huffington Post. It covers so much content across loads of different spheres of well-being, of productivity, of workplace health, of mental health. It's just vast in terms of the types of subject areas that it covers. And you can become a contributor to Thrive Global. You can also contribute to sites such as Medium and Authority, other really huge global platforms. And obviously the trick with that is knowing how to write the right content so that the submission gets accepted, and making sure that that content is perfectly aligned with what they expect and what they need. But as long as you nail that, you can submit your content online and you never have to speak to anybody. So for me, that is an easy way into PR. Some people call it cheating PR, but I don't think it's cheating PR. I think it's just smart PR, because you're just leveraging your opportunities and you're finding ways to get yourself off the ground and start working your way up that PR ladder, that PR portfolio ladder. So the reach of these sites is massive as well. So they're really great for PR kudos. They're really great for PR trust tags, but actually you don't have to pitch. So that's something definitely worth exploring. And I would certainly look at those three that I've mentioned: Thrive Global, Medium, and Authority. The next type of media that I want to talk to you about targeting is maybe one that you wouldn't expect. So I want to talk to you about targeting freelancers. So freelance journalists are journalists that write for a number of different publications. They're not employed by one particular medium, one particular publication. They write across the board. So they get paid by their articles being chosen by the media that they pitch to. So effectively, by working with freelancers, they have to do the hard work of pitching to the editors. So yes, you have to pitch to the freelancers, but they've got something in the game because they want to get paid by pitching your story to the media. So Actually, they're great ones to approach because it's a win-win situation. And when you're working with freelancers, they are much more likely to be supportive of you. They are much more likely to guide you and to help mold and sculpt your story or your content to suit the publications that they work for. Now, they're not going to do all the hard work for you, and they expect you to put some groundwork in and to have an idea of where you sit, to come to them with great headlines, to come to them with great feature ideas, but they will help you to a degree. So you're not on your own if you're pitching to a freelancer. You're kind of in it together. And I think that's a really quite nice feeling as well when you're new to PR. So one of the things to do is to have a look to see what type of freelancers there are out there, which ones write about your particular subject area. And Twitter is a great place to start for this. So loads of freelancers use Twitter really effectively, and just search by keywords. So search and see which are the ones that are writing health and well-being content, which are the ones that are writing business content, and hone in on the right freelancers for you, and then build a relationship with them and then see what would be useful to them. What were they working on right now? What content do they need to be pitching to the publications that they're working with? Get a feel for the types of stuff that they're involved in, and then make your pitch. So freelancers are a fabulous, I would say, fast track way to sometimes getting that national media exposure. Right, the next 3 types of media that I believe you should target are very specific. So the next 3 are broken down into subject-focused media, audience-focused media, and feature-focused media. So subject-focused media, this is where you target a certain media based on your area of expertise, and you pick the press that is in most alignment with your content. So it might be something like Happyful or natural health, if those are the areas that you tend to talk about. If you're talking about well-being, if you're talking about mental health, if you're talking about natural medicines, if you're talking about anything holistic, those might be media that would work really well for you. If, let's say, you're more spiritual, then something like Spirit and Destiny or something along those lines would be much more specifically perfect for you, because you know that your subject area is going to be really well received by those types of publications. When it comes to thinking more about audience-focused publications, that's where you're thinking about, well, who am I trying to reach? So are you trying to reach parents? So can you consider what publications are targeted at parents? So it might be something like working mums. It might be something like family-friendly working. It might be some of the parenting publications. So then you're thinking about, right, what is the content I'm trying to create? Well, it's content specifically for parents. Then I need to find a route to reach parents, and then you go very direct with those types of publications. That also works in terms of maybe the types of person you're trying to reach are other entrepreneurs. So you might want to look at titles around things like Successful Founder. You might want to look at things like Business Insider if you want to reach those more established business owners, and actually you want to connect with people on that sort of peer-to-peer level. So it's a case of really thinking about who the readers are of those certain publications and targeting them to suit who you need to reach. The third approach is very feature focused. So you can target media based on their features. And this really just comes down to your research. This comes down to you unearthing those opportunities. So quite often media do have regular features, and it might be something like what I wish I'd known when I started, or it might be a day in the life of a successful entrepreneur, or it might be advice that I would give to my younger self, or it might be the 10 things I've learned making 6 figures in my business. There'll be key things like that run across different publications. So you might want to search out your ideal media based on the type of feature that you would like to be included in. There's all sorts of features, particularly online, that are targeted at entrepreneurs, particularly that are targeted at female entrepreneurs. So it's about really doing that research to find those opportunities and then being very, very specific about what you're putting yourself forward for. You can go down all sorts of rabbit holes when it comes to trying to source media to approach for PR. So you need to be as targeted as possible, and you need to really keep streamlined and keep laser focused in terms of what media is important for you to feature in. Now, obviously, I have given you a little bit of a step-by-step guide there in terms of how you can start to get on that PR ladder, how you can start to build that PR portfolio. But I am fully aware that you may also have massive goals of being in things like Forbes, of being in things like Entrepreneur, of being on the TV, of being on BBC Radio, that there's all sorts of big vision board goals that you might also have. Now, they can come about inwardly. So they can come about to you. They can present themselves to you as opportunities once you have built up that portfolio of expertise. And we have seen this happen multiple times. So we have celebrated a number of our clients being in Forbes magazine. And the way that has happened is because they've sort of registered themselves as an expert through doing other PR. So they've really become recognized in their field. They've really owned their niche. They have really grabbed hold of what it is that they stand for and what it is they want to be known for. And they have become found for those things. So they've become searchable. When media who are writing for Forbes magazine are looking for an expert on menopause or an expert on productivity or an expert on this, then who comes up? Well, the people that have got online PR, the people that have already written about those subjects in a number of different places on high profile sites like things like Thrive Global or Authority. If you are creating a PR portfolio in those places, you can then be found by these bigger titles. And quite often, the way that you actually get in those titles is through an inbound inquiry when they're looking for something very specific. So that would be my tip about how to kind of work towards having some of those bigger media trust tags on your marketing. Work up to building that PR portfolio so that they're going to come to you. And that's the absolute dream, isn't it? You don't even have to pitch to them. That would be the amazing way for that to happen. So build up your PR portfolio slowly and surely. Obviously, if those big publications come calling, or obviously, if you find an opportunity where they're looking for something, some content that is so relevant to you, dive in there and don't be scared of making that approach. But the more that you do to build up your PR portfolio, the more that you take steps to prove that you are doing the hard work and that you are owning your space, the more successful you will absolutely be in the long run. Now, I've got a little offer for you, which is quite exciting. As part of this episode, I've decided that I would like to help you get off the ground. So if you identify a very specific media target that you would like to feature in, and you tell me which media site that is, I will see if I can find you a relevant contact at that publication. So if you message me through Instagram, and I am at JoChockPR, or if you join our free Facebook group, which is PR You Can Do It, and you hashtag podcast, and you tell me in there which publication you are trying to get in, I will get my team to find the best contact that they can for that publication and give you a leg up. How about that? So we are genuinely encouraging you to take action. We are genuinely really trying to help you get off the ground here and really make some inroads into getting some PR power for your business. So I hope you take me up on that offer, and I really hope that you're starting to believe that you can do this, that PR can be a marketing tool that you can use in your business. Thank you for listening to PR Powerhouse with me, Jo Swan. If you want to feel empowered and supported and excited about getting in the press, come and join us in our free community over on Facebook at PR You Can Do It. I would absolutely love to see you there so I can help you take those next steps to getting in the media.